Well, it's getting beyond a joke. I am really not in the mood to deal with the in-crowd. I have never been part of the in-crowd, and I don't intend to be now. I'm an outer, I'm a leaver. I'm not changing, and I've made that clear in a number of videos. I've also tried to explain my reasons, although perhaps I haven't done it as eloquently as I might have done once. I am not far right. The EU is far right, or far left. It's either Nazi or communist, or some combination. It's a dictatorship, and I don't want it. It was going nowhere good. It was going somewhere very bad. And what really, really ticks me off is when people who would have been leavers join the in-crowd because they've got somewhere to live in the Canary Islands. People with COPD who jet back and forth to and from the Canary Islands. I'd like to know how they do that, because I often find a half-hour bus ride far too much for me. Sometimes I can't walk from room to room, and 2 nights running I haven't been able to breathe lying down in bed. So that's one member of the in-crowd gone. I don't even believe she's got COPD, frankly. How can you possibly fly without oxygen if you have COPD? I know I couldn't even get as far as the airport. I know I couldn't, not anymore. But anyway, this woman who is usually on the same side as David Icke, who detests the EU and explains his reasons very eloquently, actually. See, a lot of the supposed far left and the supposed far right all want out of the EU, unless they're self-interested. I couldn't be accused of that, not with any truth or any justification. I'm not going to live long enough to care either way. I just want the last thing that I do on this earth to be something that's going to make a difference for the better, and getting out of the EU is it. I am desperate to get out of the EU. I am desperate to see Article 50 implemented. I cannot stand the roller coaster ride on FB at the moment. We're in, we're out, referendums. The referendum for a second vote is fraudulent. That's been well established. Then somebody posts on the 10 o'clock news, it's going to be heard because 58% of the British population want it. But excuse me, but only 48% of the British population voted in. Why would 58% of the British population sign this blasted referendum for a second vote so that they can get their ruddy way? Why can't they accept democracy? This vote is the most democratic vote there has ever been in my lifetime. Unless, of course, you count the vote in 1975 to see whether we wanted to stay in. Then, only then, it was the EEC. It wasn't the EU, and these ignoramuses do not even understand the difference between the two. They don't know the timeline, they don't know about the Maastricht Treaty, they don't know about the Lisbon Treaty, they don't know any bloody thing. As was proved by one of the 19-year-olds who say we have robbed her of her future, and then attributed the NHS to the EU. The EU did not give us the NHS. I confess I don't remember exactly what year it came in, but it was a bloody long time before the EU and before the EEC, and it's British. Totally, thoroughly, utterly British. I no longer care who I unfriend on FB or in the streets for that matter. If they're in, I don't want to know them. End of story. And especially if it's all about you, Ducky. Just you, because you want to jet back and forth to Lanzarote. And no, I'm not going to apologise. And no, I don't want to refriend you. And no, bugger off.